Ever wondered how to make Python talk to you? The secret lies in the print function. In the world of Python programming, communication is key, and the print function is our primary tool for this dialogue. But what exactly is the print function? Well, in a nutshell, it's a built-in Python function that allows us to output data. This data could be anything: a string of text, a number, or even the result of a complex calculation. Now you might be wondering, why is this function so important? The answer is simple. It's our window into the world of Python. When we write code, we're giving the computer a set of instructions, but we need some way to see the results of those instructions, right? That's where the print function comes in. It allows us to see what Python is doing by outputting data to the standard output device, which is typically your screen. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. What does it look like in practice? It's simple, really. We start with the word print, followed by a pair of parentheses. Inside these parentheses, we place the data we want to output, enclosed in quotation marks, if it's a string of text. For instance, imagine you've written a song and you want Python to print out the lyrics. You could use the print function like this: print, rather be indie than sign my life away to label. And just like that, Python would output the line of your song. The beauty of the print function is that it's not just for one-off messages. You can use it in sequence to print out multiple lines, one after the other. So, if you have a whole verse of your song to output, you can do it easily with multiple print functions. This simple yet powerful function is your first step in communicating with Python. Whether you're debugging your code, displaying results, or just playing around, the print function is your trusty companion. The print function is your first step to interact with Python, and it's as simple as saying hello. Now that we know what the print function is, it's time to dissect it and see what's inside. In Python, the print function is like a tiny machine that displays information to the screen. To understand this machine, we need to take a closer look at its parts. First up, we have parentheses. In Python, these are not just for show, they serve an essential purpose. Just like a bookend, they hold everything together. Anything you want to print must be placed inside these parentheses. Without them, Python wouldn't know where to start and stop reading your command. Now, let's move on to quotation marks. In the world of Python, these are not used to signify speech as in English, but rather, they're used to create what we call strings. A string is a sequence of characters, and it can be anything from a single character to an entire novel. In our song example, each line of the lyrics is a separate string, and just like a precious gem, each string needs to be enclosed in quotation marks. So when we combine parentheses and quotation marks, we get the full picture of the print function. For instance, print, rather be indie than sign my life away to label, is a correct usage of the print function. We have the word print, followed by an open parenthesis, then a string enclosed in quotation marks, and finally a closing parenthesis. But what if we have more than one line to print, like in our song? Well, Python has got us covered. We can simply use another print function. Each print function will handle its line, displaying it on the screen before handing over control to the next print function. That's how we can print the entire song, line by line. Understanding the anatomy of the print function is crucial to becoming fluent in Python. Remember, every string needs to be inside quotation marks. So, now that we've dissected the print function, we're ready to put it to work. Let's move on to the next scene and see this function in action. Enough theory. Let's see the print function in action. Imagine the print function as a songwriter, penning down lyrics line by line. In our case, the song we're writing is a heartfelt ode to life. Each line of the song is a string, and we'll use the print function to bring it to life. First up, we have the line, rather be indie than sign my life away to label. We write this in Python as print, rather be indie than sign my life away to label. As simple as that. We've penned down our first line. Next, we want to add, give it some thought if something solid brought to the table. This becomes print. Give it some thought if something solid brought to the table. We continue in this manner, adding more lines to our song with each print function. Every string within the parentheses and quotation marks is a new line of lyrics. Living where so many who despise and are so hateful becomes print. living where so many who despise and are so hateful. Fine lady around his arm, Louis bag, or Jimmy Choo translates to print, fine lady around his arm, Louis bag, or Jimmy Choo. As we run our Python script, each line of our song is printed out in the Python console. The print function acts like a spotlight, illuminating each line of our song in the darkened concert hall of the console. It's important to note that we use a new print function for each line of the song. This is how we keep our lyrics in order, ensuring that our song tells a coherent and compelling story. So there you have it, the print function, our Python songwriter, taking raw lyrics and turning them into a beautiful song, line by line. Just like how a song is composed of different lines, a Python output is composed of different print statements. The print function is versatile. It's time to explore some of its variations. In Python, you're not limited to printing one string or value at a time. You can print multiple items in one go. This is achieved by separating each item with a comma. For instance, if we want to print the first two lines of the song together, we could write, print, rather be indie than sign my life away to label. Give it some thought if something solid brought to the table. When you run this, Python will print both lines with a space in between. Now imagine you want to print a list of items, each on a new line. The print function can do that too. You can use the special character n to create a new line. For example, print, rather be indie than sign my life away to label and give it some thought if something solid brought to the table. We'll print each line of the song on a new line. But what if you want to print a quotation mark within your string, like in the line, cool with just having comic book Spawn or Silver Sable? You can use a backslash before the quotation mark to tell Python to treat it as part of the string and not the end of it. So it would look like this, print, cool with just having comic book Spawn or Silver Sable. There's also a way to print a string multiple times. Let's say you want to create a chorus effect by repeating a line 4 times. You can do this by using the multiplication operator, like so, print, Miss Mommy visit her grave on 3rd week of April and *4. This will print the line 4 times, each on a new line. But what if you want to control how many spaces are between your words or lines? That's where the tab character, represented as T, comes in handy. For example, print, bidet on 17th always taught me to beat grateful, will print the line with a tab space between B and grateful. The variations of the print function allow us to customize our output, making Python a powerful tool for displaying information. The Python print function has been our focus today, and what a journey it has been. This humble function is Python's way of saying, hey, here's something I want to show you. It's a fundamental part of Python, used to output data to the terminal. Let's take a quick stroll down memory lane. We started by introducing the print function and its structure. The print function, as we learned, uses parentheses to enclose the data it's set to display. Inside these parentheses, we place our data, often in the form of strings. Strings are sequences of characters enclosed in quotation marks, like the lyrics of our song. Next, we dove into the anatomy of the print function. We learned that each print function call outputs a new line, which is why each line of our song was printed on a separate line in the terminal. It's all about the sequence. You start with print, followed by parentheses, and then your string enclosed in quotation marks. Then we saw the print function in action, using the lyrics of our song as an example. We wrote multiple print statements, each one outputting a different line of the song. This demonstrated how we can use multiple print functions to output a series of strings, creating a lyrical cascade in our terminal. Finally, we explored variations of the print function. We learned how to manipulate the print function to change its default behavior, like removing the automatic new line at the end of each print statement, or adding our own custom separators between printed items. In our song example, we saw how the print function can be utilized creatively. We printed each line of the song one by one, bringing our lyrics to life in the Python terminal. It's a testament to the versatility of the print function and a fun way to learn and practice Python. From sending a simple hello to outputting an entire song, the print function is Python's way of communicating with us. Keep practicing, and soon you'll be making Python sing your tunes.